Under the golden African sun, where the waves of the Atlantic Ocean kissed the shores of the tiny fishing village of Boma, lived a young fisherman named Kamau. The villagers knew Kamau for his uncanny ability to navigate the ever-changing tides, but what they did not know was the secret melody that drew him to the ocean every evening. It was not the call of fish or the whisper of the breeze, but a hauntingly beautiful song that seemed to emerge from the depths. Tonight, as he pushed his small canoe into the water, Kamau felt the song's pull stronger than ever. The ocean's surface shimmered with an ethereal glow, casting a dreamlike aura on Kamau's journey. His net lay forgotten as he paddled toward the source of the melody. He stopped near a rocky cove and listened, heart pounding. Suddenly, the water parted, and before him emerged the most enchanting creature he had ever seen. Her skin was the color of the moon, her hair flowed like ebony silk, and her eyes shimmered like emeralds. The mermaid's voice fell silent as she met his gaze, and for a moment, the world around them ceased to exist. "Who are you?" Kamau managed to whisper, his voice quivering with awe. The mermaid tilted her head, her lips curving into a smile. "I am Nala, guardian of these waters," she said, her voice like the sound of tinkling shells. "And you, brave fisherman, are trespassing." Kamau's heart raced. He knew the tales of men lured to their doom by ocean spirits, yet he could not bring himself to flee. Instead, he asked, "Why do you sing every night?" Her laughter was as captivating as her song. "Perhaps I was calling you." And with that, Kamau's life changed forever. The morning sun broke over Boma, painting the ocean in hues of pink and gold. Kamau sat on the shore, his fishing net untouched beside him. His mind was a whirlpool of questions about Nala, the mermaid who had called to him. Was she real, or had he imagined it? Yet the emerald glow of her eyes lingered in his memory, as vivid as the sunrise before him. Unable to resist the pull of curiosity, Kamau ventured back to the cove that evening. The waves were calm, the horizon an endless stretch of silver and blue. Nala emerged once more, her presence as mesmerizing as before. This time, Kamau noticed the sadness in her eyes, hidden beneath the brilliance of her smile. "You returned," she said softly, her voice carrying a mix of surprise and relief. Kamau nodded. "I had to. There is something about your song. I can't ignore it." Nala's expression grew somber. "My song is not just for your ears, Kamau. It is a plea, a call for help. The ocean is in peril, and I cannot protect it alone." Kamau's brow furrowed. "What can I do? I am just a fisherman." "You are more than that," Nala replied. "You have the courage to face the unknown. Will you help me, Kamau? Will you fight for the sea that feeds your people?" Kamau hesitated, his thoughts racing. The ocean had always been his ally, but it was vast and unpredictable, a force he both revered and feared. Yet the sincerity in Nala's eyes stirred something within him. "I will help," he said at last. "Tell me what I must do." Nala smiled, a glimmer of hope brightening her features. "Then our fates are bound, Kamau. Together, we shall protect the ocean and its secrets." And so, an unlikely alliance was forged beneath the starlit sky. The days that followed were unlike any Kamau had known. Nala began teaching him the ways of the ocean, revealing secrets only the sea could hold. She spoke of coral reefs wilting under poison, of fish migrating away from the warmth of polluted waters, and of ancient spirits angered by humanity's greed. Kamau listened with growing unease, his heart heavy with the weight of her words. One evening, as the sky blushed crimson with the setting sun, Nala led Kamau to a secluded lagoon. "This is where the ocean speaks most clearly," she said, her voice reverent. "Listen closely, Kamau." Kamau closed his eyes, his breath steady as he focused on the sounds around him. At first, he heard only the gentle lapping of waves against the rocks. Then a low, mournful hum filled the air, rising and falling like a distant chant. The sound chilled him, resonating deep within his chest. "What is that?" he asked, opening his eyes to find Nala watching him intently. "It is the ocean's warning," she said gravely. "A cry for balance, for harmony. If ignored, it will become a roar that none can silence." Kamau's fists clenched. He thought of the villagers, their lives intertwined with the sea. How could they endure if the ocean's bounty diminished further? "What must we do?" he asked, determination flaring in his voice. "The answer lies in unity," Nala said. "The people of Boma must learn to respect the ocean's rhythms. But first, we must gain the trust of the spirits who guard these waters." Kamau nodded, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Under Nala's guidance, Kamau prepared to meet the spirits of the sea. "They do not trust humans easily," she warned. "You must prove your worth through deeds, not words." She handed Kamau a small conch shell. "Blow this at the reef under the full moon, and they will come." The day of the test arrived, and Kamau ventured to the reef as the moon cast silver rays upon the water. The ocean seemed alive, its waves shimmering with an eerie glow. Taking a deep breath, Kamau blew the conch, its sound reverberating through the water. The sea stilled, and from its depths emerged 3 spirits, their forms translucent and glistening like liquid stars. Their voices echoed as one. "Why have you summoned us, mortal?" Kamau swallowed his fear and stepped forward. "I seek to restore harmony to the ocean and protect its bounty for all who depend on it." The spirits observed him in silence before one spoke. "Humans take without gratitude. Why should we believe you are different?" Kamau knelt, his heart pounding. "I have seen the damage we have caused. I wish to make amends. I offer my strength and my word." The spirits exchanged glances. "Your resolve will be tested," they said. "Retrieve the pearl of balance from the abyss. Only then will we believe your intentions." Nala's voice broke the silence as she emerged beside Kamau. "He will not face this alone. We shall return with the pearl." As the spirits vanished, Kamau turned to Nala. "What is the abyss?" Her face was grave. "It is where the ocean's fears dwell. But together, we can succeed." The abyss lay in the deepest part of the ocean, a place where light dared not venture. Kamau and Nala journeyed for hours, the water growing colder and darker with every passing moment. Nala led the way, her luminescent form a beacon in the shadowy depths. As they descended, Kamau felt the weight of the ocean pressing down on him. Strange shapes moved in the periphery, their forms shifting like shadows. "Stay close," Nala whispered. "The abyss is alive." At last, they reached the ocean floor, where a massive trench opened like a gaping wound. In its center rested a pedestal bearing the pearl of balance, its glow faint but steady. Kamau approached cautiously, but before he could reach it, a deep growl reverberated through the water. A colossal serpent emerged from the trench, its eyes burning with ancient fury. "Who dares disturb my domain?" it hissed. Kamau stood his ground, his voice firm. "We come to restore balance to the ocean. We need the pearl." The serpent laughed, a sound that shook the water. "Only the worthy may take it. Prove your courage or perish." Nala stepped forward, her voice calm yet commanding. "We fight for the ocean's future. Test us, and you will see our resolve." The serpent lunged, its massive form cutting through the water like a blade. Kamau and Nala moved as one, evading its attacks while searching for a weakness. With each strike, Kamau's confidence grew, his fear melting away. At last, Nala created a dazzling light that blinded the serpent, allowing Kamau to seize the pearl. Kamau held the pearl of balance tightly, its glow warm against his palm. The serpent's roars echoed as they ascended, its fury left behind in the abyss. Exhaustion weighed heavy on Kamau, but he pressed on, his mind focused on the mission. Beside him, Nala swam gracefully, her presence a constant source of strength. When they broke through to the surface, the moonlight felt like a blessing. The ocean waves lapped gently around them, as though celebrating their success. Kamau climbed into his canoe, and Nala rested her arms on the edge, her emerald eyes sparkling with relief. "You've done what many thought impossible," Nala said, her voice filled with admiration. "The spirits will see your resolve now." Kamau gazed at the pearl, its light pulsating like a heartbeat. "This is only the beginning, isn't it?" he asked. Nala nodded. "The pearl will help restore the balance, but there is much work to be done. The spirits must trust you to guide the people of Boma to a new understanding of the ocean's gifts." As they paddled back to the shore, Kamau felt a newfound sense of purpose. The sea that had always been a source of livelihood was now a companion, a guardian to be protected. He vowed to carry this knowledge back to his village. When they reached the shore, the sky was beginning to lighten with the first hints of dawn. Nala hesitated as Kamau stepped onto the sand. "Will you return tomorrow?" she asked softly. "Always," Kamau replied, his voice steady. The bond between them had grown unbreakable, and as Kamau walked back to the village, he knew the path ahead would be challenging, but with the Pearl of Balance and Nala by his side, he was ready to face it. The moon hung high in the sky as Kamau and Nala returned to the reef, the Pearl of Balance glowing brightly in Kamau's hands. The conch shell lay on the rocks, waiting to summon the spirits again.
Kamau took a deep breath and blew into the shell, the sound echoing across the still waters. The spirits emerged once more, their forms shimmering with otherworldly light. They regarded the pearl with reverence, and then turned their piercing gaze toward Kamau. "You have succeeded where many have failed," one spirit said, its voice a mix of pride and caution. "But your journey does not end here. The pearl is a symbol, not a solution." Kamau nodded. "I understand. Tell me what I must do next." Another spirit spoke, its voice softer, yet no less commanding. "The people of Boma must be made to see the ocean as more than a resource. They must learn to live in harmony with its rhythms." Nala added, "We must plant the seeds of respect and care in their hearts. Only then can balance be truly restored." The spirits circled Kamau, their glow intensifying. "You have our blessing, Kamau. But remember, the ocean tests even its most faithful. Be prepared for resistance, for doubt, and for the sacrifices you must make." As the spirits vanished, Kamau felt a surge of determination. The path ahead was daunting, but with Nala and the pearl, he knew he could face whatever challenges awaited. The next morning, Kamau returned to the village, the Pearl of Balance hidden in a pouch beneath his tunic. The villagers were bustling about their daily routines, mending nets, preparing boats, and tending to the market. Kamau stood in the middle of the square, his heart pounding. How could he convince them to change their ways? He approached the elders first, sharing tales of the spirits and the pearl. They listened with skepticism, their faces etched with doubt. "You speak of legends, Kamau," one elder said, "but we have lived by the ocean for generations. Why should we believe these tales now?" Kamau clenched his fists. "Because the ocean is warning us. The fish are fewer, the reefs are dying. If we continue to take without care, there will be nothing left." The elders exchanged glances, and one finally said, "If what you say is true, then show us proof. Bring this pearl, and let us see it with our own eyes." Reluctantly, Kamau agreed. That evening, he returned to Nala, who was waiting by the cove. "They will not listen without proof," Kamau said, frustration clear in his voice. Nala placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. "The pearl is powerful, but its light must be shared wisely. Together, we will show them its meaning." The villagers gathered on the shore the following evening, their faces lit with curiosity and apprehension. Kamau stood before them, holding the Pearl of Balance aloft. Its glow illuminated the crowd, casting shimmering patterns on the sand and water. "This pearl," Kamau began, "is a gift from the spirits of the ocean. It symbolizes balance, the harmony we must maintain between giving and taking." Murmurs rippled through the crowd as Kamau spoke of the spirits, the abyss, and the serpent he and Nala had faced. Some listened intently, while others crossed their arms, their skepticism evident. "The ocean is not limitless," Kamau continued. "It is alive, and it is crying out for our help. We must change how we live, or we risk losing everything. One fisherman stepped forward, his face lined with age and experience. And how do you suggest we do this? We rely on the ocean to survive. Will your stories feed our children? Kamau looked to Nala, who emerged from the water, her presence silencing the crowd. You must take only what you need, she said, her voice calm yet commanding. The ocean will provide, but it must also heal. Plant mangroves, protect the reefs, and honor the spirits who guard these waters. The villagers fell silent, the weight of her words sinking in. Slowly, heads began to nod, and voices rose in agreement. In the days that followed, Kamau and Nala worked tirelessly to guide the villagers toward a new way of life. Together, they organized the planting of mangroves along the shore, their roots weaving a protective barrier against erosion and storm surges. The children, wide-eyed with wonder, joined Kamau in crafting nets designed to allow smaller fish to escape and grow. He taught them the importance of respecting the ocean's rhythms, using the pearl of balance as a symbol of their shared responsibility. Not everyone embraced the changes easily. Some resisted, clinging to old habits and questioning Kamau's leadership. But Nala's presence, ethereal and unyielding, reminded them of the ocean's power and grace. One evening, as the sun set over the horizon, casting golden light over the village, Kamau stood by the shore with Nala. The mangroves swayed gently in the breeze, and the villagers worked together, their laughter mingling with the sound of the waves. We've started something, Kamau said, his voice tinged with hope. Nala nodded, her emerald eyes shining. The ocean feels your efforts, Kamau. Its song grows lighter, its wounds begin to heal. As the stars appeared in the sky, Kamau realized that their journey was far from over. But for the first time, he believed in the strength of unity and the power of change. While many villagers embraced Kamau and Nala's teachings, not everyone was convinced. A group of fishermen, led by an outspoken man named Okan, began to push back. We have fished these waters for generations without interference, Okan declared one morning in the village square. This pearl and its stories will not fill our nets. Kamau stood firm, addressing the growing crowd. If we keep taking from the ocean without care, there will come a day when the nets bring back nothing. The signs are already here, Okan scoffed. And what of the spirits you speak of? I see no evidence of their wrath, just your words and that glowing trinket. The crowd murmured, uncertainty spreading like wildfire. Nala emerged from the water, her presence immediately silencing the commotion. Okan, she said, her voice calm but resolute, the ocean has already begun to change. If you doubt Kamau's words, then come with us tomorrow. See the reefs for yourself. Okan hesitated but finally nodded. Very well. Show me your truth. The next day, Kamau, Nala, and a skeptical Okan ventured to the coral reefs. The vibrant underwater world, once teeming with life, now lay eerily quiet. Coral turned gray, fish swam in fewer numbers, and the water carried a sense of despair. Okan's defiance faltered as he took in the sight. How did this happen? He murmured. Pollution, overfishing, and neglect, Nala explained. The ocean can no longer sustain itself. Kamau added, this is what we are fighting to prevent. If we act now, we can bring it back to life. For the first time, Okan looked at Kamau with something other than disdain. I didn't believe you before, but now I see. Tell me what I must do to help. Nala smiled, the hope in her eyes reflected in the glimmering water. The ocean thanks you, Okan. Together, we can restore its beauty. Okan's change of heart became a turning point for the village. As a respected figure, his support brought more people to Kamau's side. The community began working together, planting mangroves, cleaning the shoreline, and building sustainable fishing tools. Kamau and Nala continued to guide them, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. Kamau often caught himself marveling at Nala's resilience and compassion, wondering how such a being could exist.